Okay, so after a bit of a break from some games, I'm back with Shadowrun's 42nd session, and that is our Season 2, Episode 4 for this storyline. Tonight at the table we have Ariadna.
Hello, am I supposed to do my character introduction already?
Introduce your character.
I'm not quite ready. Can Jeremy go first?
He can. Okay, online today we have Jeremy.
Good evening, all. Yes, I'm playing Desmond Deadshot, the Elven street scum, grew up on the streets of Seattle, and later discovered that while he thought he had no one looking after him, he hoped to get the ancients in the future when he became worthy of them. But apparently now he might have family that obviously didn't care about him enough to he grew up on the street. And they apparently had money, but apparently they've left him some stuff which he's still working out and discovering. But he's certainly mostly happy with the apparent sentient motorcycle and suit that he's been left in a will.
Tatiana, is that it?
That is correct.
Tatiana, yep. I remembered it right off the top of my head that time.
Ah, nice.
But yeah, so he's going through some life issues at the moment. Nothing to do with the idea of having become landlord of a major apartment block in the middle of the Barrens that's totally not being controlled in any way, shape or form by technology.
Is Aztec a rival to the Ancients, or not really?
They're not on the same playing field.
Because you're an ancient wannabe, aren't you?
Yes, but remember the Ancients, whilst they're a very powerful street gang, effectively, although they're actually a global street gang.
Yep.
And they certainly do have a lot of influence, particularly in some circles, and a lot of power and money available to them. They're not in the same category as a megacorp like a AAA megacorp like Ag Technology.
I'm eventually going to remember that difference.
Well, the Ancients are still considered a criminal enterprise.
Whereas
as technology involves itself in criminal enterprise, but it's not one.
It's a corporation.
so they could do much more effective criminal effect because they've got so much more power behind them.
So they're basically anyone who owns social media these days. Not naming anything specifically.
Well, I mean, like I say, you could put Ag Technology in the same power level as something like a Facebook, BHP, and Microsoft all combined. Type stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, from Edward's perspective, hey, considering what he grew up from, the Ancients put a goal that he never really expected to have half a chance of succeeding in.
Now you're in the running.
Despite his own self-confidence.
It helps me confident.
Indeed.
It does. So is Ariadna ready to introduce her character?
She is. So I play an awakened elf, Shadow or Shadow Star or the Count, but usually just Shadow. Having realized that corporations like As Technology were a bunch of corrupt people that you would never win against, and having failed dismally in trying to Robin Hood them, I have consigned myself to shadow running and trying to develop my magic to a point where I don't have to rely on the man or the corporations to survive, but somehow end up getting myself into trouble where my fellow Shadowrunners and friends end up in possession of cursed items that make them age rapidly. Why do we always get these kind of jobs?
Because if it was easy, then they wouldn't need you.
True. But it'd be nice to have one
that's the whole purpose. Shadowrunners are expendable.
Yes, yeah, no, I absolutely get that I'm expendable and that. I just like the occasional job that was just super easy.
It's just that whenever you get a super easy job, the first thing you go is, what's the catch?
Yeah, I know. It in itself is a catch-22.
Okay, so yes, and also online we have M if she's available.
Might not be here quite yet.
He will join us when she either finds the mute button or is available. Okay, so yes, in the current storyline you have managed to sign on with a sponsor who then died in the middle of your meet.
That's right, Topal.
Topal, yes.
The Raven Man Shaman.
And as you were...
He was on his life stake anyway.
He was.
And as you were escaping from the ambush by the police, your friendly neighborhood troll went a little ballistic and massacred the special assault unit.
He went Super Saiyan on a pretty high level.
Unfortunately has no memory of doing it.
Actually, it's more closer to like Serenity with what's his
With
face?
River. Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Unfortunately, no one knows the words to activate him.
No, and we don't know the words to deactivate him either. And right now
But
his
that's
aura
fair,
scares me. No,
It's not like he knows the words either.
I was going to say his aura terrifies me.
And so yes, you've just rested for the night after hearing a couple of news reports last session that was relating to, as I bring it up on my screen so I can actually look at it, except my computer's misbehaving.
Oh, and the Freedom 5 have been called in to help with investigating Flogger's response to being ambushed.
So
That's the superheroes of the world, aren't
yes. Barry's trying to stop my eyes from seeing too much refraction.
they? Do you need it down? I can do it via phone.
Sorry, I won't be able to read if I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just asking.
It's just I needed to get the whatever was causing
Yep.
my glasses to smear off. Okay, so yes, you have a couple of news reports you got the previous night. First one was, if I can bring that section up so I can actually see it. And my computer's behaving itself now finally, is that Lone Star is quiet on the Lachlan massacre.
And that's what's been called the massacre that Flogger was involved
No,
in?
that's a completely different massacre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've got a completely unrelated one. Yep.
You just happen to be in a neighbouring suburb. And it seems to be a magically involved incident. Then there was news reports on the Brotherhood moving uptown, so it's moving into the rich area, not just the poor spaces.
Hey, the rich like keep dealing as much as the poor do, if they can save their money.
That is true. And the last news report on that time was that the UCAS had called in Legacy and the Freedom 5 to investigate what was happening with the what had happened in the junkyard in Tacoma.
And that's Flogger.
And that's Flogger.
Okay, cool.
They were currently in the region looking into the Lachlan massacre at the time.
So that's why they were so close by. And what was
So
the
while
thing
they were
about
there,
the second thing about the guys taking over the rich as well as the poor?
The Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
Universal Brotherhood. They're all nice guys, honest.
Yep.
Well,
I've fortunately not dealt with them.
free healthcare for all.
Okay. And ice cream.
And ice cream. And free food if you show up. And in the morning you see 2 more articles have hit the Seattle boards. One about a judge named to crime panel. Appellate Court Judge Evan Gooch was named to the Seattle Crime Commission select panel on containment. It was announced the previous day in relation to the second massacre being investigated by the Freedom Five. Justice Gooch fills out one of 2 remaining spaces on the panel formed by Governor Solch to investigate preventative measures against crime. Gooch, known as Hanging Even for his stiff sentence practices, said he brings 23 years of facing miscreants to the panel. He began his career as a prosecutor, becoming an associate judge 12 years ago. He was appointed to the Powell bench 5 years ago. Among his most memorable achievements were the prosecution of the surviving Screaming Meanies, the first Ork gang eradicated by the gang task force, and his presiding over the year-long trial of organised crime leader Hanno Thomas, who was sentenced to serve 24 consecutive life sentences. You've also heard that his sentences are generally harsher for those who don't have an identity than those who do. So it is well known that if you get him as a judge, you definitely want to have a ID. And a non-criminal ID at that. And the other up on the board is seek info in hit and run. The Seattle police are at a loss in their investigation of a hit and run the previous day. A 7-year-old Tamsin Douglas Kinsale was run over by a motorcyclist around 3 p.m. and struck on 6th Avenue South and Main Street just after leaving a park with his aunt. They say he was slightly injured. 2 bikers were speeding north with pedestrians scrambling to get out of the way. Says he slipped as his aunt tried to pull him out of the bike's path, and the biker just ran right over her, yelling in the distance. A report said that both bikers were wearing similar gaudy clothing, leading police to assume that they are members of a go gang. Kinsale has been unable to possibly identify the gang clothing after examining police photos. Meanwhile, the police have been unable to find any witnesses to the incident. People questioned on the scene maintained that they didn't see a thing or it happened too fast to make any identification. Police Lieutenant Avery Milkowski, head of the investigation, says that fear of gang retaliation has probably kept witnesses from being more forthcoming. It is ridiculous that nobody would notice noisy speeding bikers at a crowded downtown intersection in broad daylight, they said. Also said that police will offer full protection to anyone who comes forth with information about the incident. The victim's family has offered a reward of $5,000 for useful information. One family member said they hire private investigators. The police are doing what they can, but are too busy to spend the time tracking down information. This is just another case of them, but it's our little Timmy. Private services were held for the girl on Monday.
Does that sound like the two of the bikers that attacked Topal?
Could be.
Any images?
They have no images, that's the problem.
Oh, of course. Any descriptions of the gaudy colours?
They were only told gaudy colours.
Okay. That generic. Okay.
Yes, it's so generic they don't think they can actually solve the crime.
Presumably not green.
Well, green's not as gaudy as most of the other ones.
That's right.
And I think they would note if it was 2 elves on motorcycles.
Indeed.
So that's all the news?
That's all the news for this day. Though there's also a special update for the from the Freedom 5 saying that Legacy has announced his personal plans to bring the beast responsible for the Junkyard Massacre to justice.
Oh, goody.
I think we might have to send Flogger out of town.
And for those of you who don't know Legacy that well, he's the Superman of the setting.
Yeah. And yeah, so it took us some effort to actually try and get back to the Barrens and our safe house apartment block area because Hotel confirmed that they already had satellite imagery tracking the van and things like that as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they were very quick to catch into it because of what had happened.
Yeah. And the fact that seemingly they were basically already there. So which is why we had to end up we dropped characters off to let them get there safely, and then Womp and Degran went and dumped the van in a more abandoned, secure location and torched it to remove any DNA evidence and
Yes, incinerated it. With deep hopes that it doesn't lead back to us.
There's always things that come in handy with that sort of stuff. But at least you now have managed to get back to the building, and you have the item still with you.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it's chained to bolt.
It is.
Or cuffed. So I guess I might have a chat with SoCal about trying to cover as much of the tracks as we can and fill him in on what happened since he was not there in person.
He's not big in going places in person.
No. I kind of understand. I'm starting to consider his lifestyle as maybe one I want to achieve for myself. It's looking really appealing right now. So hopefully he's able to do extra scrubbing in terms of any footage and things like that. He can look out for stuff.
Well, he's doing what he can, but to be honest, it's not as easy as you might think.
No, I know it's not. But I figure we should at least tell him and.
But he has.
Don't we have any bolt cutters? Pun intended.
Yes, they do have a chainsaw.
I'm sure that yes, we can get the case off bolt without too much problem. As soon as it was a case of take the opportunity to sit down and do it. So.
Yeah, I think that's our next move as well, because I was really concerned that whoever has that case attached to them will age as rapidly as the shaman did.
Where Declan's more primary concern right now is whether there's any sort of trackers or indicators on that case that might have been part of the reason why Lone Star showed up so early in the middle of fully up Barrens.
But then the question is, why didn't they turn up earlier? We they should have turned up with T'Pau. But they hadn't been.
Well,
you'd expect most of them to turn up if they're there to catch people in an illegal exchange.
Oh, they'll
wait
wait
until the exchange happens before they go in. Because up until then, it's they can only arrest one out of two parties.
Yeah. And of course, the aspect of looking for any tracking devices, or like do a effectively a bug scanner on the case and content.
While you're doing that, I'll go find some bolt cutters.
Okay, so a computer use for Desmond as he tries to use his tools to check for bugs.
Okay. I'm happy to call upon Coach's help while I'm doing it, but yep, I've got 3 green dice.
You've got 3 green dice. Okay, you scan it and it doesn't register as having any bugs. Not long after it does so, the scanner starts making popping and hissing noises, and then smoke pours out of it.
Ooh, that's something.
Didn't he get successes on that though?
He did.
Yeah.
Which means he actually knew the result before the smoke started pouring out of it.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Yes. Yes. Either, yes, I believe there's no devices or signals coming from the case, but whatever it is in that case, if it did have any devices upon it, they're probably already dead, which is why they're not working
Which is why now. I have a feeling that this is not going to be as simple as a pair of bolt cutters as you suggested, but
well, no, like
that doesn't mean, you know.
It's still a normal chain of the handcuff type stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So with that in mind, let's introduce Em.
Yep.
Oh, hello. I am Bolt. I am not the sharpest bolt in the shed, hence the bolt cutters. I like to run really, really fast, and I am slowly starting to get used to my new magical ability if I can shapeshift fully into my wolf form. My full human form is still a bit iffy. Still a few rogue hairs that you can see, but I'm slowly getting there. And yes, I have this magical AD device attached to me, and I would really like it off.
And you have 2 spells listed on your sheet now.
I have 2 what? Sorry?
2 spells listed on your sheet.
I still missed what that was.
You have
sorry.
2 spells listed on your sheet for you now.
Oh, spells. Right, sorry. I don't know why that didn't come through properly. Every time you said it, like the mic dropped.
Okay, so yes, if you want to...
It's so ominous that suddenly Voltag's spellcasting capability. That's on the download.
I will have to, once I get to my computer, I'm just bringing in clothing from the line before it stays out overnight. And then I will head to my computer now that Miss Mira is asleep.
Yes. Okay, so to break through the bolt cutters, all you need to do is make a skullduggery check.
Can I help? Because I've got good skullduggery. Like
you can potentially do it yourself.
Hold it in a certain way that makes it easier to cut.
You don't need to cut it. You can just pick the lock.
Ah. Okay. Well, can I just use my strength to rip it apart?
You can probably do that. You don't need to wait for anyone else to do it for you. You can rip it off or undo it yourself if you think you can.
Well, you've got you've got 4 green dice into pulling it off via strength, and you have 1 yellow dice and 4 green dice in picking the lock.
Oh, sweet! I'll try and pick the lock then.
I was going to say picking the lock sounds like the way to go.
Because your character is quite cunning. Because cunning is your best attribute. You might actually have a look down and see that all your combat skills now use cunning instead of strength.
Ooh, yay!
All your combat skills.
Yeah, you should use that sharp bolt as a lockpick.
I can use my woofy claws as a lockpick.
Excuse me.
And it's easier to pick it than it is to actually break it.
That's funny.
Okay, so you spend a bit of time and you think you've gotten the knack that you can give yourself a bonus to try again.
I'll try again.
And this time it actually does help you, as you manage to get 4 successes and an advantage in popping off the lock.
Nice.
So you have a set of binders that you can use if you want to later.
Cool.
Right, so you are removing the handcuff from you, or were you removing from the case, or were you opening the case?
Managed to do it with both with that number of successes.
Oh.
Hence why I now have handcuffs that I can use later.
Yep. But you haven't opened the case yet.
No.
No, that's right.
I very much think that's a bad idea, and I don't want to do it.
Okay. Well,
seeing as what the object did to the other dude, who presumably handled the thing, not just in the case, but actually handled the object.
well, okay, Declan's pretty confident that it's not being tracked using any technological means, because, hey, they probably be dead.
Bolt seem to
Like its scanner.
aged or changed since having the...
Does not seem to have done so,
Okay.
but only had it for a couple of hours.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't that other guy have it for like weeks?
He had it for about a week.
Oh, for about a week.
Yeah. I would suggest we've at least got to have a look at what's inside to find out what it is we're talking about.
Well, Bolt really doesn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole, so...
So does that mean Desrin's opening it?
No. No, so Declan's working on the other, but obviously it must be a magical doohickey thing to say, it's not techie, I can handle it if it was techie, I can fix it if it was techie, but this looks like a magic thing, so...
I have
I'll
a
leave it to the
feeling
expert.
I'm being volunteered for something I don't want to be volunteered for.
You are the best magic person here.
But,
but we're secretly
technically
volunteering you.
yeah, that's
You're only being volunteered because Womp apparently got lost after Declan and he bit the van.
Yeah, normally I'd happily leave this to Womp, but since Womp's not here and the game cannot really progress without me doing it, I will reluctantly...
Well, you could stick it in a safe and wait for Womp to show up.
I have a feeling we don't have that kind of time on our hands. Just based on my investigations previous game. But I am going to start from a distance, so the first thing I might try is maybe a predict on what would happen if I tried to open the case.
Well, the first thing you might try is ensuring that we're not actually up in the top 3 levels of the apartment block at the moment, which Declan's made abode. Let's go down to about second floor.
That's the forefront of my worries. Don't you think the second floor could be more dangerous? Because it could take the whole building down?
Well, are you saying that it's going to explode magically? I'm more...
This I'm not sure of, which is why I'm doing predict, which requires me not to interact with it at all right now, but to try and figure out if I can foresee if this is a really bad idea or not.
Okay, certainly Declan's happy to get it downstairs somewhat where there's less technology that he's worried about. Well, apparently it's bad for tech.
You get to ask a question.
Yep.
So predict basically is gives you a question about events in the next 24 hours, and it's normally 2 purple. So you could increase the difficulty by 1 to put it into a week. You could increase it by 2 to put it into a month.
Look, I kind of just want to find out. specifically with this magic
You're looking
item.
at the next 5 minutes, so I don't think you're going to increase the difficulty.
Because you can only use predict once per day.
Yeah, I
Well,
realise
actually,
that.
once per session is the specification.
Yeah, I realise that. My other option is maybe to dispel or something like that, or to just open the box, or to try and... if I want to just try and look at its aura and things like that, do I have to actually cast for that?
You would.
But it's different from predict.
It's different from predict.
Okay. And the rules around looking at auras and things like that, is that once a night, or is that...
You can turn it on and turn it off, but it takes energy to do so.
Okay. I'll first try and have a look at that level, just to see if I can spot anything that's informative. So something along the lines of maybe perception.
Okay, so for you, that is your utility, which basically doesn't have a dice roll to bring up. But if you want to lift it with magic, you can do so. Because you have the air that you can add to the difficulty.
Yeah.
Or you can write words with the utility one. So basically you can automatically bring up the ability to see in astral without doing anything.
Well,
But it does take 2 strain from you to do so.
have I recovered any strain from my previous session?
You will say you have.
Okay, so that puts me... I was only down 1 anyway. My strain is 12 currently, is that correct?
Let's see. It is normally 14. So
14.
You'll bring it down to 12.
So, I'll engage Astral Vision, -2 strain, and examine the case. Alright, does it tell me anything?
Well, as you're looking at it, you can't see the case.
So the case doesn't seem to be there at all. Is that normal?
It doesn't see technology. It barely registers items of a non-living nature. The less permanent an item is, the harder it is to see.
Okay. The less permanent.
So the longer a building's in a place, the easier it is to see astrally.
Okay, alright. So, considering this is an object that moves around all the time, it's probably...
There's nothing magical on the outside of the case.
Okay. I presume... Does the case look like it's made out of any special materials, like it's meant to hide magic?
Well, it looks like it's made out of leathers.
Just straight, normal briefcase. I don't really want to throw caution to the wind and open it. But I kind of don't want to use predict unless I really have to. What are the...
Well, presumably, if the case is quite normal,
What?
then either whatever object is inside does not require protection or something in that way, or the case is just something that's a carrier that he could then attach handcuffs to, and there might be another layer inside.
Yeah, there could easily be that, or there could be nothing magical inside, but you presume there was. It could also be that T'Pol was really quite reckless and negligent, or appeared to be so he just didn't bother doing anything about it. I'm a cautious person by nature, so I'm tying up, and I'm thinking this, not saying it aloud, between telling Desrin, I don't think it's magical, you're good to open it, or doing predict, and seeing whether or not, I can.
So typically, what does the case look like?
It looks like a normal briefcase, and I believe that our Shadow Star has called upon a discipline check.
I considered it. I wasn't actually going to follow through because
If you like dice to tell you whether you do a good or a bad thing.
I would actually, if the GM insists, I'll do it. But in terms
I'm
of
just giving you the option of letting the dice choose for you.
in terms of Shadowstar's personal ethics, she knows that if she did do that to Desrin and it did turn out to be magical, she would break all trust with Desrin, and she's been working really hard to just not. I don't think you'll ever trust me, but just
You
get
do know
to
that there is no magical aspects on the outside of the case.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that inside is safe.
Jack will quite happily put it down and open the case.
Really? I warn you, there could be something magical on the inside, though.
Yeah.
Just because I sense nothing on the outside doesn't mean what's inside isn't bad news. I could do a predict, but it'll take me a few minutes.
The thing is, you only get to do that once per session, and that's your questions asked.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's better than rather than using a predict, which we should use for maybe something a bit bigger than opening a case.
Well, just have a think about it.
Yeah.
Whatever objects in here is worth a lot of money, is worth enough for this Topal to go and find the money to pay us to protect him. It is worth so much that 3 elves turned up, one on the astral plane only for protection, and one who was doing Overwatch. We're talking 3 fairly high-skilled elves, all of them well-talented. So, whatever is in this briefcase, it's a big deal. So, if I were going to do a predict...
Yeah, the idea of, yes, the context of the case is important, but if there's no technological on the case, and there's no magic on the case, then the case itself is probably fine.
I'm just worried about what's on the inside. But go for it.
But the idea being that, I wouldn't be predict might be important for the next step if we see what's inside.
That's fine. You're just a braver man than I am, and I'm okay with admitting that.
So as Desrin cracks the lid on the case, Shadowstar sees a glow emanating from the crack as it starts to open.
I will immediately alert Desrin that there's a glow.
There's a glow. There's a glow. There's a glow.
I don't get a sense of if it's a good or a bad glow.
Is Desmond seeing a glow?
Desmond is not seeing a glow.
Okay. Does the statement of that it was a glow come before Desmond, who probably flicked the latches on the case and then went to flip the lid and step back quickly?
So the words of "there's a glow" happens as the lid just pops up because it's on a spring.
Okay.
It is one of those cases.
I just want to establish I am not next to that object.
Yeah, Bolt's probably hiding behind a table for all the good that will do. But, it's the idea anyway.
And inside you see a carved wooden box, almost the same size as the internal dimensions of the case. And it just looks like a fancy carved box to Desrin. But while our mage is actually seeing, or our mystic adept as you are, because you have both magic and adept.
I'm going to add that to my description because I'm never sure how to...
Mystic adept is the next step from awakened.
Myself.
Awakened is you have magic capability.
Yep.
Mystic adept is you're more advanced than an awakened character. Whereas M has moved on from awakened to be a primal caster.
Okay. Thus the wolfy looking companion in her aura.
And for your awareness, and I'm assuming it's going to work the same in Genesys, Ariadna, in another aspect that when you're talking the astral plane effect, a mystic adept is someone who can see into the astral plane but not project into the astral plane under normal circumstances. Whereas a full mage can normally project into the astral plane.
So
yeah.
the utility spell that the spellcasters get is not available to the adepts.
Yeah, not yet. How many
whenever-
more levels do I need?
You've got it
Oh,
because
I've
you're
got
a
it now.
spellcaster.
Yep.
You're a spellcaster and you're an adept, so that's why you're called a mystic adept.
Adept. Okay.
That's the difference between an adept, a mage, and a mystic adept. You have
I'm going to
access
remember all of this eventually.
Just to add on to that kind of question,
Yep.
where are the... Oh no, magic spells. Okay, sorry, I found them.
I tried to make them obvious. You can mouse
Yep.
over, or if you're on your phone, put your finger on it, and it'll pop up and tell you the details.
Yeah, no, I'm on the computer now, so I can mouse over.
So, astrally, you were saying I could see a change?
Astrally, you see all the carvings look like you know those signs where the light seems to move along the sign?
Oh, okay.
All the carvings have light moving through them.
So, it seems to suggest either a...
It looks like a magic.
Pattern?
Looks like a design that you've studied. That's about magic suppression.
Okay. So, I tell Desmond whatever he does, do not open the box.
So just okay, that's good. But at the same time as this is happening, so basically, Desmond flipped open the top, just as Shadowstar was saying, there's a glow. Obviously, from Desmond's perspective, he's not seeing anything. He's saying, "What do you mean it's glow?" But he is seeing a box full of or covered with interesting carving. Is that right?
Yeah, it's very interesting carvings. You've never seen its like before.
You've stepped back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You
okay.
flipped it
Back
open
as
and...
he actually flipped the lid, but
Yeah.
then you say glow, I thought glow, and might have looked forward. Then you say then you're going on further.
Yeah,
Did you end up apparently covering your eyes because the glow was exceptionally bright, or just
No. What I followed it with was don't open the box.
Yep.
Under
Okay.
any circumstances.
But the glow is enough for you
Well,
to see
Jacob-
the outline of the case in astral.
Yeah.
Which means it
Yeah.
is not in it is fairly significant for something about dampening magic.
So, seeing that it's dampening some sort of magic, I might actually come closer to examine the carvings to see if I can tell anything from them. Would that be a perception or an insight?
It would be an arcana because that's your skill to tell you all about
Yep.
magic stuff.
So I'll wave Desron off and just tell him I'm doing magic shit.
Yeah, that's right. They're good comedic response. Are you still saying there's no magic involved? It's up to you now.
No, it's glowing. There's magic.
All yours. Having dealt with some of this sort of stuff somewhat before, Jacob's figuring it's going to take a while, but she's going to be doing this sort of stuff. So he's going to go back upstairs again and start basically scrolling the matrix to look at any news reports or things like that as to what's going on, where we're going at.
So as Desron
You can find out.
reaches the elevator, the button doesn't light up when he pushes it.
Marvelous.
Don't worry, you've only got 20 odd floors to go up at least.
I was about to say, how high did we say the building was?
28 floors.
Right.
Keep you fit.
Good will probably make a statement as he's going out the door saying, God damn it, it's taking out even the tech on the elevators. And he'll try and walk up a couple flights of stairs and see if he can try the elevator at a different level.
And you find that the emergency door for the stairs is unlocked on the lower floor, which it normally isn't. It normally opens only on emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
Or sets off an alarm that's saying people have used it.
You're not getting any red flags here?
Well, okay, he's already mentioned the fact that, hey, whatever it is, it not only kills tech bugs, They certainly killed some low-tech stuff as well. So, I guess hopefully Johnny in the stuff attack downstairs was far enough away, although probably he was still too close. Maybe we'll send Flogger down to eat the ice cream before it melts.
Yeah, well...
No, we won't. We don't want Flogger being seen by anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Shadow Star's learned response of the box is, I don't know.
Okay. So is that just that my roll wasn't strong enough? Is it something I can put more into it or approach from a different direction?
You don't think it is...
Possibly you need to go to take time, study some books or something like that.
That's what I'm wondering.
The markings.
You probably can go off and do that, but you don't think it is a academically minded design. You think it's more a nature design?
Okay, so is that more along the lines of something Bolt would understand?
It would be something Bolt would understand.
I talked to Bolt about this in as simple terms as I can, to see whether or not Bolt wants to be able to see what the item is and whether or not she can determine if it's a good thing or bad thing.
The comparison, Bolt's ability to determine magic stuff is 1 yellow and 4 green.
So a lot higher than me?
Yeah. You have more yellow dice, she has more dice in total.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I can try. I've never done it before.
I will guide you through this.
From Shadow Star's perspective, is that while she's got that more academic knowledge of magic, I suspect that all her books on the subject are probably on her pad, which probably doesn't work very close to the item, so it might be hard to research. Which does remind me of the button. Based on the interaction with a magic environment before, is Declan still seeing okay?
Yeah, he seemed perfectly fine, which is why he's a little puzzled.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Hasn't affected him, but it's affected other things.
Yep.
Well, my worry is that the elevator and the emergency door not working might actually be a completely separate cause to the magic item, and we might find ourselves dealing with two different problems at the same time. But right now, I'm in a room with a magical box that I'm a bit worried about.
I mean, I guess...
And you and Bolt can work with it. Declan will start going up there to try and get up further to find out what's happening. But
does Desron say out loud that the elevators and the emergency doors are malfunctioning?
I believe he does.
Yeah.
I suggest that when he does go upstairs, if the technology is working, he should do a check of the cameras and the perimeter.
That's what he's going up for. Okay.
From Bolt's perspective, I probably maybe have more of a I guess because my abilities are more like primal based. More not as you said academically studious like Shadow Star, but can definitely be like, "Ooh, that's a bad thing."
Yeah.
Or I get the bad vibey spidey senses.
Basically, I will talk you
It's more based on instinct.
Yeah.
So it costs you some strain to look at it astrally. Because your utility spell allows you to see magic stuff. But all spells cost 2 strain to bring up.
So Bolt can use the utility spell because nature magic, but I couldn't?
No, you can. All
okay.
spellcasters get the utility spell when they become spellcasters.
Okay.
It's a free thing you don't have to pay for.
Okay.
She has only one other spell besides that, Transform. Which allows her to take other shapes beyond wolf.
Yep.
But she can naturally use wolf.
Okay. Sounds like an actually really cool spell.
A specific one for primal spellcasters. Okay, so as you look at this, you do get some backlash from it as you look at it. Would you like to take 2 strain or 1 wound from looking at it?
Well, I've already taken 2 strain from casting the spell. What's my strain threshold again?
Okay.
10. I'll probably take a wound.
Yeah. So having it not so high doesn't help. So yes, you take a wound. The difference of the strain is you can recover strain at the end of the encounter a lot easier, and wounds take time to heal. That's why people have the option. So looking at it, you can tell that it is quite a interesting sort of design. It seems to be about trapping and holding attention. The sort of stuff you do when you're chasing creatures through the forest is if you're stalking them, you generally get them when something else is distracting them.
Okay.
And it's really about distracting whatever's inside it.
So the box is distracting the item inside so that it can stop it from doing what it's doing?
But it's not distracting it 100%.
Just partially.
And its distraction is slowly running out of energy.
Wearing off. So this is a time bomb.
Mm.
So
Is there any way to increase its capability?
There's lots of ways of doing it, you just never learnt that.
Sweet.
this is why Tal was trying to get
I looked
rid
at
of it.
Shadow Star like it's not a good thing.
No.
This bad thing.
And because it's primal, it's not in Shadow Star's area of being able to boost or enhance.
See, this is why I was hoping there was a tracker on it, because I kind of was hoping those 3 elves might give us money for it, and that would make our lives a lot easier.
Well, you're relying on the idea that 3 elves still alive.
Oh, they're alive. Trust me. I
Because
saw how powerful they were.
Remember when we left?
Oh, yeah, you mean Flogger.
Very shortly afterwards, Flogger went ballistic.
I think they would have disappeared before Flogger went ballistic.
Well,
I
mean, they
put
might
my
have,
money on it.
They might have, but they were still there as far when we last saw. So
Look, I think your logic isn't flawed, but based on what Shadow Star saw, she'd put money on the fact that they disappeared a second after Lone Star crashed the party, and they probably weren't there. But I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. But I would take, that's a bet I would actually put money on.
You'd also, Shadow Star would probably also note down that the authorities were most likely aggressive, whereas the elves were most likely non-aggressive.
Yeah.
And whatever was happening, it probably went for the aggressive people first.
Yeah. And the elves that were present did have a 3rd elf astrally protecting them, so that would have given them a bit of extra time to run. And they're elves after all, so you know, as you should be well aware, far superior to human beings.
And less likely to age as fast.
Did we get any information out of Tapal that would give me any idea of who wanted to buy this thing?
He was surprised at the people who showed up. They weren't who he was speaking
Yeah, no,
to.
I did get that. Based on what he was saying and what I could see astrally. Because he seemed very unhappy about it. It's like he wanted to give it to specific people and they weren't the specific people.
Well, it also looked as
well,
if
as
it
far
might
as
have
we
been
know, he was looking to get it to the children, what's it? Mr. Templeton?
Mr. Templeton, was it? Because I wasn't here for where they actually named buyers and things.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through my notes again confirm what we had. The guiding hand telephone, no, that's what he owned. But yeah, he also talked to they mentioned the Simon Templeton of the Children of Sophocles Fellowship, who were telephoners.
I believe Simon Templeton was the one who died.
Oh, that's right, yes, he's the one who gave it to him, yes.
Okay. So we don't know who he's actually trying to sell it to.
He didn't give us any information because he was being like super secret sauce about it.
I will.
Well, and technically, we didn't need to know at the time because we were only supposed to be bodyguards for the meet.
I will call him SoCal and ask him if he can find anything on the net about Simon Templeton or anything that might give us a lead in regards to this item that Topal was trying to sell.
Okay, you get a message bank.
Yep. Is it like can't help you?
It's just a message bank.
Oh,
it doesn't go
message
through to
bank.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said message back. Okay.
I think we've broken SoCal's
Oh, okay. The
maybe.
boxes taken down all the tech.
And I'm assuming Desrin's currently taking the flights of stairs up.
Yep, they say he's
we don't have any kind
testing every couple of levels just to see if there's power and active again in any levels.
We don't have
noting
any
that
kind
the elevators might be automatically out everywhere. He will be trying light switches and stuff like that to just see whether it's all out and how far it goes.
It seems to only have the emergency lighting, and the floor you were using wasn't powered in general because it wasn't listed as used.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't have any kind of safes that are magically. We haven't got anything like that.
You haven't built any yourself yet.
So
you haven't had a need to.
No, for when I'm looking at spending my money, magic protecting saves, because we need at least one, or a box.
Where you can hide your own magic stuff when you get it.
Yeah. Alright, that being said, it seems like we don't really want this thing around. I'm going to send our swift running bolt up the stairs to catch up with Desrin and find out if any tech's working upstairs, and with a message to see if SoCal can find out any information about the box. While I stay with the box downstairs, I'll put it back in its little briefcase. And just keep an eye on it, because I'm not going to leave it by itself, but I'm not running up all those stairs if the power's not working up there, when Bolt will happily do it in easily a quarter of the time it would take me. Does Bolt go for a run?
I would love to.
Okay, so Bolt gets to make a willpower roll, discipline roll.
See whether or not she can look away or move away from the box.
Discipline roll for Bolt.
Willpower, discipline.
Yep.
2 green apparently.
I wouldn't be surprised if, the red were coming out, and there's a few of them.
Okay, so as you say about maybe she should go chase Desrin.
Mm-hmm. That's a despair.
Out the way.
But Bolt seems to be going, yeah, as Bolt lifts the lid on the box.
Bolt lifts the lid on the box. I feared that this was going to happen. This is why I didn't want to open the suitcase to begin with. So I'm squarely putting the blame of this onto Desrin.
Sorry, what
he got
did
even
I
there.
say?
You opened the box.
You opened the box.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
wow.
as soon as you open the
said,
suitcase...
Yeah, I'm on my way as you open the box.
Yep,
Oh, great.
because you've been pulled into the magic.
Looking inside the box, you see that there is a black silk covering some sort of item inside the box.
And you guys said don't use predict. Can I somehow try and push, intervene, react, use some kind of magic to try and stop Bolt from doing whatever with the box without dying?
Well,
I'm sure she'll be fine.
No.
well, you're not exactly sure what's happening here, but you can
Okay.
see that inside the box is
Yep.
just a hole. There's no magic inside the box whatsoever, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, no. I know this is bad, though. It has bad written all over it from the moment I sensed what was going on with T'Pal and the disintegrated car.
Am
I
I
thought you said you
able to
couldn't read the
use
symbols.
resilience
You
in
don't-
any way?
Well, you're not taking any damage at this stage. It's more something that's trying to convince you to do something, which really is a discipline or cool to avoid.
Okay. I was hoping maybe I could use resilience to try and maybe transform myself and run away. Or
Why would you want to run away from such a beautiful thing?
Well, that's the thing. I
Says the
knew it was
local
bad.
chaos monkey.
I knew it was bad. And yet I'm sort of, my body's kind of moving against its own will. And I was wondering if I could resist that in any way, but
Well, Shadowstar
can.
has told Bolt from the moment it's been attached to it, this is bad, this is really, really bad.
yeah. Well, and my check before said it was bad, really bad.
Yeah.
And
So I was wondering if I could roleplay with the resilience, but
you can, though for you it is sorry, just trying to get onto the right screen for it. So I
Okay.
can actually see the text myself easier. So, you can either do a cool or a discipline check to decide not to continue doing stuff and take control back. Which would you prefer?
I think they're the same. aren't
They are the same dice roll, but they have different results.
So the first option was
Cool or discipline.
discipline or...
About dealing with bad things happening.
I said-
Could I try
I-
discipline again?
You can.
I suspect that would discipline be a weak point for a nature animal?
It is for M's character in particular.
So wouldn't cool have been the better choice?
Cool's also a weak point for her character.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right, they're
So
both
they're
based in the
equally
same way.
weak.
They are the same dice pool.
Okay.
They're both just as bad.
So what's the difference between, you said they have very different effects? What
Well, discipline is like ordering your mind and basically controlling yourself through that, whereas cool is not letting the effects of other things
See, I would have
take
thought
you.
that would be more her
Both,
thing.
both of them have equal application to it.
I would have gone for cool being like more
But the point is
instinctive.
that she's probably got no ranks in either of them, and she's got the same, like her presence and willpower are probably both two.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
But yeah, as I say, that's right.
There's no fake
But as I
things
say,
or
it
anything
comes
like that,
down to the
you know what I'm
idea of, yes, now you're trying to avoid or get around it, will then change what the result will be. So,
So you are
even though the dice rolls the same.
looking at something here. You're trying to resist the effects of it, and while
You failed
Shadowstar,
dismally.
while Shadowstar's trying to close box, get you away from it. You are rather bigger than Shadowstar. You are rather stronger than Shadowstar.
I'm possibly faster though.
And you already had your hands on the box.
And I'm not sure you can say you're faster when you were deliberately choosing Bolt to run up the stairs because she was quick.
Look, I said possibly faster. I said that in a moment of hope. I do not know why Desrin is all for this chaos and turmoil.
Hey,
I think
Gregor's
we have
got
the
nothing to do
same
with this.
ability,
He's not
though.
here. This is all Jeremy.
Well,
we have the same
equally
agility of 3,
mystifying.
So,
But you see, obviously one thing that Shadowstar can be doing at the moment is, hey, close the box or don't close the box, but hey, what's inside?
Sorry, but what?
but what's inside?
What's inside?
No, I know it's all bad news. I know it because of the amount of exclamation marks followed all of my successful rolls last session that said, is this a good or bad thing? And the answer is always bad, with 1 to 6 or 7 exclamation marks, which says to me that on my rolls last thing, what I was seeing said that this was not stuff I'm not even really all that interested in selling it. I'm more interested in getting rid of it.
Okay, so next thing you know, Bolt has plucked at the cloth, revealing a red stone idol underneath it.
Oh, great.
That
But
looks vaguely demonic.
does she have hold of the redstone idol?
Does not.
Am I able to somehow intervene at this point to close the box in the suitcase?
Currently got the Bolt's hand on the box, holding it open.
Probably not then.
You would have to make an athletics check opposed to Bolt's athletics.
My agility's
That's a
only
lot.
3. I suspect that hers is a lot bigger, and my brawn's only 2. I do have an
My
intellect
agility
of
is
4.
3, but...
Your athletic, I'm guessing, is good.
Oh, yeah, I'm betting.
Four dice.
Green.
I'm betting my athletics sucks. If it's probably non-existent.
Well, it's brawn based, so...
Yeah, like I said, my brawn's 2, my agility's 3.
So it would be 2 green versus 4 purple
Before we
if you were to do it.
go ahead with that, though, could I cast a spell?
What spell are you going to cast?
I'm tossing between Mask, Dispel, or Barrier, because I don't know if any of them will work at all.
A barrier would require you to maintain it. Dispel would get rid of a current magical effect on something, potentially break Bolt out of whatever has Bolt interested in things.
Yeah, well, that's why I was thinking of doing that one, just to... Yeah, just not... Yeah, demonic idol is bad. Alright, I'll try that. What are the dice, did you say?
Okay, for you it is 3 of those, 1 of those, versus 3 of those. With your dispel, you have no special abilities on that one, so that's basically what your dice pool would be.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Could be worse, but I don't think it's great.
Okay, so as you cast, that's a success with a threat. So you originally take 2 strain for casting the spell. Would you like to take a wound or 2 extra strain from the threat available?
Currently down to 12 strain, so 2 more strain will take me down to 10.
You regained 1, you spent another 2.
Yep.
So that means you currently have...
So I was at 14 because you
You're
said
down
I'd regained my strain from last session.
Yeah. So you're at 14, so you're currently on 11 strain remaining.
Yep.
And you choose to take either another 2 strain or a wound.
Well, I was thinking of just 2 more strain at this point, and then looking at the wounds after
Okay.
that.
So
So
yes,
you said that puts me on 9 left.
That puts you on 9 left. Okay, so with that, Bolt, you seem to snap out of whatever was happening as you're looking down at this red idol with red glowing eyes staring up at you, even though you can't see anything astrally at the moment. Someone has knocked out your astral vision.
I'm going to try and close the box.
Do you let Shadowstar close the box?
If I can.
Okay, you close the box.
Alright, I close the box, I close the suitcase.
You close the suitcase.
I'm going to try and send Bolt upstairs again. with a message for Desrin. Does she go this time?
She might, but he might.
Oh, he. Sorry. Wrong gender. I apologise.
That's okay.
It's that whole thing of just mixing up things.
Hard to tell it's a wolf after all.
That's right.
I've got lots of fur. Yes. And also, am I still using the utility, or did that get knocked off as well?
That got knocked off. You think that's the reason why you're no longer compelled to it?
Yep, right, cool.
Does Bolt kind of understand what's happened?
Not really. Doesn't have a high intellect.
I know. She's got cunning though.
Bolt kind of has like a really creepy feeling, and he's probably already backing away from it when you tell him to please go upstairs and deliver said message to Jeremy. And I'm probably out of the door before we even finish the sentence.
Said message is very, very dangerous thing. See if Sokol can track down any leads to Simon.
And when you get to said message, Bolt's already out the door and up the stairs. Before you actually finish the message.
That's fine. As long as he gets the really, really dangerous bit. That's the biggest bit.
I think Bolt kind of got that already. hence the running. hence the go on.
Okay, so over to Desrin. As you're going slowly up, checking things as you go, what is your character's perception?
Perception is 2 yellow dice.
Okay, so as you're slowly making your way up the stairs, checking things, you hear strange sounds coming from up the stairwell.
I will. I recognize the type of sound, like a movement or a building collapsing, or
Sounded more like muffled gunfire.
I knew it. Double attack.
and it was definitely coming from upstairs, not outside.
You thought it was coming from upstairs.
Okay, I will aim to move quickly and quietly up the stairs to see if I can track down the source of the unusual noise.
Okay. So, once you've reached Sir Cal's quarters, you can still hear the sound of shots coming from his room.
Do they appear to have got significantly louder?
They do.
And, well, admittedly, if you're playing a video game, that could be all going in. It wouldn't necessarily be coming through speakers externally. Can you hear anything but other than apparent gunshots? Any screams or...
I'll give you another perception roll now that you're outside the door, so a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, as you're listening to it, you hear the occasional scream, sounds of cars driving, a couple of explosions.
Cars driving.
Okay.
Sounds like a game.
I'm guessing game is more likely. I will aim to, I'll see if I can act it. Well, on the plus side, if it's a game, hey, obviously the technology is working up at this level. But on the downside, that also might mean that his door is effectively locked. But I will aim to see if I can open the door quietly and peer in before announcing myself.
Okay, it seems to be locked. You might need to make either a skullduggery or a computers check, depending on how you want to break in.
Well, You mean I don't have the master codes, the owner of the place?
You do, but
Cocal and
you don't think
Cocal and Tatana works as well.
you don't think the power is running to the door lock properly.
Right. Well, let's go for skullduggery first on the idea that it likely to cause permanent damage.
And what is your
In that
skullduggery
sort of
check?
One yellow, one green.
Okay, so considering you haven't upgraded the locks on the building, most of the locks are fairly easy to pick. It's the other things people stick inside that make it hard.
Okay. Of course, I don't know what Cocal might have done to his particular room, but
Okay, most of his stuff seemed to be wired into the main power of the house.
right.
As you open the door, you hear the sounds of one of his favourite TV shows playing. And you can see he's got his personal generator sitting and everything hooked up to it.
Right.
And you see the personal generator is plugged into the wall, so he's used to power drops as a regular thing on this building.
He's just prepared his UPS. Well, in this case then, Declan will, with the door open, or like Pasha, he'll loudly knock on the door and say, "Hey, Cocal, you've got power, Portog."
You see him look over the top of the couch going, yeah, just watching shows while waiting for the network to come back online. Did you forget to pay the power bill this month?
I don't think that's the situation. Apparently, you know that case that we picked up off that Topal guy?
What, did you plug that into the building's power supply, did you?
No. Just opened it, apparently.
He looks at you with his eyes, squinted with that look of disbelief, going, a box couldn't do that unless you plug it in. That's just crazy talk.
Yeah, he's looking pretty crazy at the moment. I'm not arguing with your crazy talk business. I'd like to change the statement.
Hey, all magic's crazy talk as far as he's concerned.
Absolutely. But yeah, okay. So obviously the system's not up and running here yet. You've got your system. Now, as a player, I can't remember. Was there anything I specifically actually said, Cole? I don't think there was there.
I believe they were going to ask
going up and doing a bit of search.
I believe they were going to ask him about research on stuff.
Research
Yeah,
on...
although his initial thought was he was just going to go up and look at the do a bit of research himself. But he will talk to Sokel about the fact that considering this you look like you've only got the only power at the moment. We're going to try and find a bit more about this box or why it was that it was why the star were right there on top of us in the middle of Pulyala. You didn't get anything further off your drone, I'm guessing?
No, the drone, he's waiting for the Matrix to come back online so we can find out what the drone's witnessed. It sort of went offline sometime on your way back to the building. Everything started to shut down in the Barrens.
How wide is this power outage?
Well, he says, look out the window. You can't see any lights out there at the moment.
So it's something more than just what we're doing is going on right now.
Oh, the box is that powerful.
All that.
But also, like, a power outage that it would affect the drone, is that like when it was still in Pulyala, or was it back here?
The drone hadn't been brought back before he lost access to the Matrix.
Yeah, but that aspect was probably more likely Lone Star causing a complete shutdown of all systems to make a blackout of whatever it was that occurred when Blogger apparently went off. And then, yes, the power outage around here, but obviously there was power around here until half an hour ago type stuff, or 10 minutes ago.
He says the building's power only lasted for a couple of hours after power's shut off elsewhere. Apparently the generators aren't up to specs at the moment. Might need a bit of maintenance. You should get onto that, boss, he says.
Yeah, we'll look into it, absolutely. So, but also he's thinking then of, well, we know the satellite coverage of the truck took them back in, followed us to Redmond Barrens, so maybe they're starting to try and do something around here, at least starting with a broad net and coming inwards, but having just walked up all the stairs, Declan's not actually in the mood to actually walk all the way down to try and fix the generators right now.
At which point Bolt enters the door, and what does Bolt say to Desrin?
Bad, icky, bad. Not doing that again.
So you found something out about the box?
Bad, icky, bad. It's red.
It's red?
The statue thingy is red, and Bolt tries to describe it as best he can from what he can remember.
What statue thingy?
So as Bolt starts to describe this statue, you see Bolt's eyes start to glow with a red colour.
Oh god, no.
It was a box. You guys were looking at the box, weren't you?
And by the time Bolt finishes describing the item, Bolt's holding it.
Oh,
In excruciating detail.
So I somehow magically teleported it to me?
Yeah.
Mark?
You summoned it.
Yep.
Oh, great.
You and it are attached now.
Good. Oh, you mean, so that's the red statue thingy. Was that in the box?
Bad box. Wait. As in the actual icon itself is in the hand, or the box?
The icon is in your hand.
I got a suitcase and a box that are empty.
And as you look down at the icon, the generator in the room just kicks out, and all the noise stops as the TV shuts down.
Bad.
All I can say, Desrin, is karma.
Can I try and run back downstairs to Shadowstar with the icon in hand?
I
pray you don't.
What are you up here for? There's a whole reason we went downstairs, so it wouldn't actually affect stuff up here. What you bring it up here for?
I didn't as I run away.
Okay, so you run down. And you see Bolt coming into the room carrying the statue.
Bad, icky, bad.
Yeah,
as the statue is now going to be known.
Bad, icky, bad followed me.
Well, okay, you can be for bad, icky, bad, my precious.
Pretty much. Is she able to, if I open up the case and the box, put it back into the box?
Okay, so as you open up the case in the box and the cloth, you see that the statue's still in there.
Okay, so is the statue that she's holding look solid?
Once you see the one in the box, he's not holding anything.
Okay. I will close it back up again and ask Bolt what happened. How did the statue end up with you?
Well, talking to Desrin about bad and bad.
Yeah, just stop there. Yeah. So you were talking to him about it, and it just appeared?
I nod vigorously.
I tell Bolt to close her eyes and imagine chasing rabbits in a field. And I just talk her through 5 or 10 minutes of meditation, chasing rabbits in a field. That's all she's going to visualize.
I'm going to make that a cool check.
Okay.
Lovely red rabbit.
No, white rabbits, brown rabbits, grey rabbits, with fluffy tails, deer, yep, forest creatures that are fast and fun to run after.
Okay, so
I am going to fail miserably.
You ended up with 3 threats and a despair. With a general failure. So look, as you close your eyes, you visualize the little red glowing eyes staring at you.
Damn. I'm sorry, I was trying to make it better, but this is very powerful magic.
And Bolt hears a small little voice going, "How may I serve you, master?"
Oh God. Do I know this?
No, this is visualizing the rabbits.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I accept if I don't know this.
Apparently, the rabbit is asking how you would like it to serve you. With red glowing eyes, red skin, no fur, strange looking rabbit, no ears either.
With a pork tail.
How did I become your master? Because Bolt has next to no idea how that happened.
You're worthy, it says.
I'm worthy?
Can I cast a spell more than once?
You can cast a spell more than once.
As soon as it seems to me like Bolt is not doing what I think she's doing, I'm going to try it again.
Well, if you're not getting things in her mind, isn't that what you wanted?
Well, if she's talking aloud, which I suspect she is, she's not an inside thinker. He's not an inside thinker. I can tell immediately that this idol is causing a lot of problems.
Okay, so that was the result of Shadowstar casting a spell, taking up 2 more strain.
Yep, I'll take that off my book in a sec. Sorry, that one.
And Bolt opens his eyes to see Shadowstar looking at him earnestly. Can still hear in the background, Master.
What's going on?
That's what Bolt can hear.
I ask Bolt, what's going on?
How would Bolt describe this?
Bad bag, icky bad in head, calling me master. Probably.
Yeah, something along that lines. That it thinks I'm master, thinks I'm worthy. Question mark? And I probably like tilt my head at this point.
I'm going to continue to look at you earnestly and say, don't ask it for anything. I am going to
But I asked
sit.
I asked it why it thought I was its master.
Okay, we're going to play a game of ignore, pretend. You know how you pretend you can't see or hear someone or speak to it? You do that to the voice in your head, the icky bad, okay? You just pretend you can't hear it and you can't see it. It's a game.
Would you like to pretend that?
It's going to disappear. This is always going to come back on me. But I don't really know what I'm dealing with, so I'm just trying things here. So that takes me down to 7.
Okay, so as you try to block it out,
it's not gonna.
Wait, I try to block it out.
well, you'll be just being asked to try to block out the.
No,
creature.
not block it out. Just ignore it.
Ignore it.
But you know it's there. But you're playing that game of how brothers and sisters pretend. Even though someone's talking, you're like, I can't hear you.
Though it does seem to answer, how are you, its master? It basically says, you are the most worthy.
Does Bolt know what that means?
No idea.
Leader of the pack.
That's definitely not good. Just
Well, I mean, I was gonna say I wasn't gonna ignore it like Shadowstar's suggesting. I was gonna not ask it questions like she's suggesting, but I think ignoring it is a bad idea.
well, I'm happy to go with your instincts.
I will happily let it talk with me, and I can ask it arbitrary questions like, why does it think I'm worthy? And they will answer, as it has answered, that I am the most suitable person. But I have no idea how to answer that right now, or like how to what's the word? Sort of quantify that right now. Not that Bolt knows what quantify means, but you guys get it.
Having no other leads, my only other thought is to try predict and see whether or not I can figure out what to do with this thing. In particular, figure out, do I need to protect Bolt from it? And try and figure out how not to continue digging her further and further into this hole. Sorry. I'm gonna remember.
You'll eventually get it right. Yeah. I don't, but hey, I'm sure you'll eventually get it right.
Yeah, you can never follow a prediction pathway exactly in its footsteps, but you can give yourself an idea of what to do next by using it. So I'm going to go with the original instinct I had, which was to cast predict.
I also had an idea myself.
Yep.
Is Bolt aware of his astral body presence?
He is aware of his astral body presence.
No, but the not my own, but the one that seems to
the werewolf?
Scare everybody off.
Oh, that is your astral body.
Oh, that is my astral body.
That is how you mentally perceive yourself.
Right. Okay.
You're the perfect alpha wolf.
Right.
Which means that if anyone sees you, they see the astrally, they see the mental fortress of your body embodied as a big, beefy alpha werewolf.
Right. Okay. So maybe that's why the icon thinks I'm worthy, because it's seeing my astral body.
Quite possibly.
It's certainly a reasonable option.
And it's why if you look at Shadowstar astrally, Shadowstar probably how would Shadowstar describe herself as her ideal image of herself?
Kind of very similar to how she looks now. She's just stealthier and better at magic than she currently is, because her aspiration is to continue to work on her magic until it is at the highest level she can achieve.
Then,
she's confident she can achieve it. She just knows it's going to take work and time.
Then most likely looking at Shadowstar, you basically see Shadowstar shining bright and have a feeling of confidence radiating from her. Whereas when people see you, they have a sense of pent up danger when looking at your character.
But Shadowstar also sees herself as kind of a protector, and so you would probably see her with a very voluminous cape that's kind of like made out of shadows that she uses to protect the people that she cares about.
And Shadowstar casts her predict.
Hopefully does not fail.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you got a triumph, so that's alright.
So you got 3 successes and a triumph.
Oh wow, that's really good. Because right now I'm looking down at... It's kind of good in a way, because if I watch the dice apprehensively, they always try to kill me. But at the moment I'm just doing Martin's meds, so... I'm not actually looking at the dice rolls, so I think that's going in my favour.
So as you call on the magic for assistance in what may happen, you do have a great feeling of potential danger in death by dismemberment.
Which is what I saw happened to Pal astrally when he was separated from... when Bolt tried to take him from the circle. Okay, so that's the potential for Bolt. So I probably...
You sort of sense that it would probably happen to everyone other than Bolt.
Oh, other than Bolt. Right. Do I get any sense about how to deal with this?
No, but that basically seems to be the most likely future at this stage.
What did you say about Flogger, Jeremy?
If you want to avoid death by dismemberment, I'd say don't hang around him.
Yeah, no. But I also don't really want to keep this idle. I don't suppose the predict spell goes as far as answering the question of whether or not I can protect Bolt from it. Probably it's a case she doesn't need protecting at this stage. Is the sense that I'm getting from what you said?
You're getting the sense of that Bolt is currently a danger. Not in danger, is a danger.
Yeah, because of her attachment to this idol though?
You assume so, yes.
Okay.
You don't know for a fact, but you assume so.
I need to find myself a person better at magic than I am. Because we need to get advice about what to do with this, I think.
Okay, so at this point, while you're thinking of these things through, Desron upstairs with SoCal, you can see what appears to be vehicles with spotlights searching the streets of the Redmond Barrens. Flying vehicles with spotlights.
That sounds ominous.
With the occasional flash of light from the ground, followed by even brighter flashes of light from the spotlight. And you can easily tell that someone's using small arms fire to shoot at the flying vehicle, and the vehicle's responding with heavy vehicle artillery.
Yep. Maybe it is time to check out those generators down in the basement and hopefully find a secret package out of the building that can get out of the fluid. Desmond's going to get upstairs as quick as he can, gather up his important gear.
Go bag.
Yep. Again, I guess he probably doesn't really want to be lumbered with the sniper rifle right now, unfortunately. But he will grab his pistols and submachine guns, and also his Tatiana suit.
Yep.
And
so you do know you can bring that to you without having to drag it if you wish to.
Yeah, but he's not really 100% certain on how that works yet. So, and whilst he thinks he can do it, I'm not certain he's necessarily tested the range at which he can do that yet. So, or at least not deliberately. So he figures, I'll have it with me, and then it'll make it easier to use if I need to. It also then means I'm not actually running into my limited time wearing the suit too quickly either.
All good.
And then basically, he'll be assuming comms don't work directly. Talk to the guy downstairs directly. He'll then be heading back downstairs and letting Shadow and Bolt know that we're going to be leaving very shortly. Obviously, since he was at Cokel's apartment at the time, Cokel was aware and let him know that, hey, this place might be hot. So,
he gets his
getting hot soon.
He gets his go bag ready. He doesn't think that they're coming here directly, but they are searching the Barrens for something.
In some ways, possibly it's a good thing that his personal generator went out. Any light in the Barren at the moment might be somewhat more attractive.
Certainly seems to suggest so.
Well, if his system hadn't shut down, you wouldn't have never have noticed the light happening outside.
Right. So, so he's going to be getting back downstairs to tell the others, hey, grab your gear, we're out of here.
My gear's all the way upstairs, but I've kind of had all my gear that I really want to run with on me anyway. Mm-hmm. When I went out to the meet, I tend to go fully...
I think the only thing Bolt left behind was possibly his hammer.
Most likely you left your hammer behind, so you didn't have to carry it.
So I'll probably go upstairs and grab that.
Okay. Now you have no problems.
And meanwhile, Declan will be continuing downstairs, but technically, depending on where the others have ended up right now, we've actually got a lot easier transportation capability, haven't we?
You do.
We've only got 3 relatively normal-sized creatures to transport.
Plus SoCal, so 4 of you. Unless you want to go yourself.
Yep, SoCal's coming with it, that's cool. That means that Shadow's car can take SoCal and
I've got Bolt.
And Declan's got his motorcycle. Not taking Tatiana, so this is purely his original racing bike.
Okay, so making your way down, you realise that unless power comes back on, comms aren't probably going to work between anyone because it does require parts of the network to be operating to get contacts through, or a bridge, such as the building acted as a bridge for all your comm links in the area.
Yeah.
One of the benefits of having the building is you could literally block out everyone else you didn't want to use it.
But disadvantage with doing that is if power's down, then what could probably do? So
SoCal is quite happy to leave because he's really having the shakes from not being accessing the matrix for more than 5 minutes, and it's been hours. Well,
so realising the fact that we've actually got vehicles that we can head out in, I guess Declan's not looking for the sewer grate through in the underground garage to try and walk out. I guess how confident is he that will be able to move in vehicles without being spotted by the surveillance at the present time.
Me, I'm very confident.
Depends
you,
on
I
if-
don't know.
Depends on if you can see in the dark.
Well, Desmond can, with his cyber eyes.
I think can't all elves see in the dark?
Not all elves.
Okay. Fairly sure I've got dark vision because I've written it down somewhere.
You probably have goggles that have it.
I do have goggles. I've got like 2 different types of goggles.
And there'll be dark vision in the goggles. And Bolt realizes that Bolt can actually see in the dark.
If Bolt couldn't before the statue, she definitely can now.
I'm pretty sure I could beforehand.
You could.
Yeah. I don't think that's new. Or at least not very new.
Of course, whether Bolt remembers it is always an issue.
Well, I mean, it's such a natural thing. Why?
You just assume everyone can do it because you can.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what do you mean you can't see in the dark? Everyone can, right?
But presumably Bolt's not going to be driving.
No.
I love how that was pretty manifest there.
Though, amusingly, I believe...
Even from Bolt.
I'm fairly sure you're not necessarily a bad driver. It's just that my car doesn't really let anyone drive it. Not that anyone realizes that because I always pretend.
Though amusingly, Bolt has actually learned how to fire light arms. So has had training in gun firing, even though he's never used it.
Yes. I am going to presume that's because I got forced into it when I was with... Was it the Brotherhood?
No, not the Brotherhood. This is from the place you escaped from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They keep on train you effectively as personal security, potentially, so...
What do you want?
But this is also partly why Bolt refuses to use guns and generally has a great aversion to them.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Though occasionally Bolt does struggle with things called door handles.
Sorry?
Occasionally Bolt does struggle with things like door handles. Flogger struggles more so, but his struggle is not taking the door off when he opens it.
Right.
What's my struggle? Just actually operating doors?
Well, the doors that are designed for humanoid hands don't quite cater to the shape and size of your claws.
That guy getting a good grip on the handle.
And hence why I'm still trying to perfect my transformation into my more human self, probably.
And anything that relies on human touch doesn't actually work well for you in shifter form, so touchscreens are a nightmare.
The amount of laptops you go through.
I probably don't, because I probably just don't use them.
You use the talkie talk versions.
I will ask SoCal if we know any trustworthy mages or people who know about cursed magical items.
He looks at you going, well, magic's not my thing.
I mean, in terms of finding information about contacts and things.
He can try doing a general request, but he can't guarantee he will know much.
I've got to start somewhere.
Well, but it's more likely, I would have thought, that Shadow would have some contacts in the magical community, wouldn't you?
Not that Martin's given me yet.
Shadow hasn't explored the Shadow community as much.
There's not really been an opportunity.
Because most of that was being done by Womp at the time.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not so much even the Shadow community. The fact that he used to be a recognised wage mage.
Who? SoCal?
The
Shadow.
No, Shadow.
Right.
You work for.
Because you used to work for the corporation.
Yep.
Presumably, you are at least partially employed for your magical capability. So you might know people who also got out, or
So
apparently not.
Looks like SoCal got a triumph, 3 advantages, and 3 successes on his Do I Know Someone?
Well, I guess
I know a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
is it kind of possible to adjust the question to does he remember Womp or us dealing with someone who's
He just let his fingers do the walking.
He does
He's
say
not up the yellow pages.
he does have a contact.
Yep.
He trusts the contact.
Okay.
Yeah, he sort of says mostly quietly.
Mostly, okay.
As much as you trust anyone in Shadowrunning, he says.
Okay. Just on the off chance, I don't suppose I recall any contacts that I might have, as Jeremy suggests that I might have from my old days.
Looking for the right character.
Because I do forget to ask these questions, and I do forget I've got a background. Because I just forget.
Okay, so your character does have ranking Shadowrunning, which means you might know a reputable contact you can actually talk to.
Okay, we'll try that, and then we've got 2 leads.
So it's actually less difficult for you to know this because you're actually into the magic scene, whereas he's not, so it's more difficult for him.
As I said, I forget that I should access my background and stuff like that. I just...
Okay, you think you might know some people, but you don't think they're currently in Seattle at the moment. So you've got contacts, they're just not currently available.
So I guess I ask SoCal? Alright, I'll try contacting the contact SoCal gives me.
Well, he says he'll reach out to them because but we've got to get on the grid again so we can make the call.
Okay, so since we're getting in the car, is that okay? I will see if I can. As we head off, we'll see if we can find somewhere where there's working power and the grid's operational.
He suggests heading for Bellevue. They're unlikely to be off the grid.
We will head there.
Yeah, that's right. It's sort of like that. If this is deliberate blackout by the authorities to try and search for where the band that was at the massacre occurred, then they're not likely to be able to do such a thing beyond the Barrens.
Very easy to shut the Barrens down, very hard to shut down other neighbourhoods.
And importantly, there are a lot of people, real people, who will complain. Whereas in the Barrens, there's no one to count.
Well, it'll also not just be real people who have IDs, but more money as well.
Exactly.
Well, we'll head in that direction then.
Okay, so.
Yep, well, Bellevue's nice. Bellevue works alongside the Barrens. It's nice and convenient.
I believe Desrin has quite a high driving score.
So he gets, 2 yellow and 3 green. And so the intent will be that we're trying to drive out without being seen. Because Jessica will be on his bike and the others are in the car, we will try and actually go slightly separated, at least for the first block to get out of Barrens. So therefore, if one of us gets chased, at least the other might get away. So.
Takes you about half an hour to make your way over to Bellevue. You can see the lights in the distance. It's quite obvious where the divide between Bellevue and the Barrens are. Because there's an entire street where one side of the street's lit up and the other's not.
Purely coincidental though, I'm sure.
That and the traffic lights work for going along the street, but no lights actually change for those trying to leave Bellevue. Leave Redmond. Even the signal boxes have been shut down for sensors to trigger to let people leave. But knowing that, you know a few places where there are no lights.
Yep. Yeah. Declan knows his way around.
You've spent a lot of time driving, so you'd be surprising if you didn't.
No.
You even know a
Also
few
just noticed
lanes
we're
that...
on the Star Wars Tuesday screen rather than the Wednesday. Sorry, I just
Oh, it
noticed
is
that.
on the Star Wars screen.
There you go.
Took
There
you a
we
while.
go. That looks better.
Me
You know,
longer.
oddly enough, it was the fact that, like, I hadn't actually mentioned that was specific to the screen. When Mark was going through some of the images and the updates on the website, I was looking, where is it? Oh, it's on the Star Wars stuff.
I'm not sure if it was like that the whole time or not, but I
It's been like that since I switched over to the dice. I just saw a dice and clicked the button.
Mm.
Yeah, like I said,
It'll be the dice tab.
yeah.
I have 3 tabs for each game and I just clicked the wrong one.
Alright, so we're heading to Bellevue.
And you take one of the alleyways that go under the road and find yourself up in Bellevue past whatever roadblocks you believe were laying in wait.
Nice.
And first thing SoCal says is, yeah! So you can finally connect back to the Matrix. As you realise they were actually jamming Redmond at the same time.
Is that something that's unprecedented or?
It's rumoured, but never proven.
Of course, it's never proven.
Because most people who can't find a tower are constantly putting out a signal which can then be tracked.
Sorry.
Even if you never do the handshake to say I'm a tower, you can still read the signal and identify where it's coming from. Which is why SoCal that does say to people, if you can't get a tower, just turn off your phone. No point telling people where you are.
Just a warning, guy. I might be losing connection again. That was certainly broken up and cut out type stuff. So
No,
if I come and disappear, I'll try and log in as well.
I just had a same drop in sound, so it might have been Martin's internet being a bit funny for a second, but it's coming through.
Maybe we
now,
should
so...
stop talking about
Yeah,
losing internet, Wi-Fi, and jamming.
Apparently.
It was trying to do a nice, here, look, here's how it happens.
No, we don't need a demonstration.
Here's a great example of it.
Okay, so he says he set up a meet, though he does say this person is, as they say in the family way.
Pregnant?
No, mafia.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't get his quotes right. He's not that, socially.
Yeah, it's fine.
He will misappropriate quotes all the time because he doesn't have a great presence.
That's fine. As long as I understand mafia, I'm all good. I don't think I would put this thing next to a pregnant person, but I'm not going to put this thing next to the mafia person either. I'm just going to have a conversation first.
What about if it's true in both respects? It's a pregnant mafia person.
Yeah. Either way, my recommendation would be I'd like Desrin and Bolt to back me up, but I'd like to just either go in with SoCal or just myself, and not with the actual idol at this point. Because I don't know that that's a good idea.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Well, and I'm guessing you probably don't necessarily want to leave the idol with Bolt either.
No. I think a responsible adult should have it. Not that Bolt isn't an adult, just that Bolt may not understand what's happening to him.
Well, Desmond doesn't necessarily have his sniper rifle to provide overwatch.
Yeah.
But he's happy to wait on his, basically sit on his bike across the street or whatever from wherever we're going.
Yep.
And he can take the box or the case.
Yep.
And keep it on the bike.
One of the reasons I kind of don't want to go alone, but if I take Bolt rather than you, she might just bring the statue with her by accident.
Yeah.
So...
well, I mean, you won't be going alone anyway, because presumably SoCal at least might have to be there, although SoCal's not normally one for face-to-face.
No, he's not. That's why I'm like, I might end up having to be on my own if SoCal's just like, no, you just have to be at this time in this place and he'll know it's you type thing. And look, if that happens, I'm fine with that. Hopefully my car won't let me die.
I guess then the intent, SoCal's going to meet. How long have we got for that meet to occur?
Yep.
He says person's waiting for you, so whenever we can get there.
Okay.
Okay, right. So in that case then, presumably SoCal will wait in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Desmond will wait on his bike across the street area or something.
Yep.
And Bolt and Genesys can go in.
I was saying I'm not sure we want to bring Bolt with me because Bolt just might bring the statue. And I'm not worried about losing the statue. I'm worried about Bolt dissecting a mafia person.
No, but okay, you might have to explain that more for Declan, but Declan's saying, no, that's fine. I'll keep the box. I'll keep it with me on the bike. You might want to keep it away from Bolt. So
I go to great pains to explain to Desrin it doesn't matter who has the box, Bolt can summon it whenever she wants. So we probably don't want her next to the mafia man because she might accidentally hurt him. Like, kill him in 1,000 pieces, as in dismemberment.
Not vlogger.
No. So I did a predict on this item.
I'm just as dumb as vlogger though.
Bolt is very dangerous right now, and dismemberment is how she's dangerous right now.
Hey, Bolt's been dangerous for at least the last 6 months.
I'm talking in a whole different way.
You should have heard you should have heard Tatiana's response to Bolt initially, and that was 6 months ago. Before he became powerful.
Yeah, let's like times that by 100 and say we probably don't want Bolt next to the mafia guy.
But you don't want to leave Bolt with the box either.
Wouldn't I be with you with the Bolt?
Yeah, what I want is to have Bolt with supervision, because it really doesn't matter where the box is, Bolt can pull the statue to her. But
okay.
Yeah.
So basically Shadows accepting that she's going in alone.
Yeah. Not out of a desire to go in alone, but just out of understanding that if we accidentally dismember a mafia person, we might end up in a whole lot more trouble than we are in now.
What? You mean aside from having the star following us? Yeah, okay. The mafia's bad, yes. But
You also a good point for Desrin to understand.
This is magic stuff. I'll go with that.
Good point for Desrin to understand from Sergei's perspective. The mafia created all your alternate identities.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So would this be the guy who created our identities that you've pulled up, or a different person?
Would be someone else in the same organisation.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, so the point being, yes, we don't want to get mafia on the wrong side of us for reasons other than immediate attack.
Yeah.
But okay, Declan's happy to say, hey, you go talk to the wizard.
Yeah. It's not that I also want to deprive either of you of the opportunity to roleplay. I'm just highly aware of the danger
Absolutely. I'm happy with that.
And
But
my
Devin's
propensity
perspective on the
to...
idea of the Bolt being their protection, but hey, if Bolton is in the car nearby and
I'm fairly sure Bolt could
Desmond-
get to me fairly quickly if she decided she
exactly,
wanted
that's
to.
right. To be fair, yes, the danger to the mafia man of being dismembered between Bolt being in the shop or just outside the shop probably doesn't matter either way.
Kind
I
of.
feel better.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I would feel better.
Yes, Sam?
My hearing is better in wolf, like the true wolf form.
It is.
Can I transform?
You should be able to. Let's see. I have...
Are you going to warn SoCal before you do it, or is this happening before while Shadow's still there as well?
No, well, everyone's still there, and then I'm gonna when she gets out of the car, I'm gonna slip out and perimeter. In wolfy form.
I don't mind you doing that, by the way. You don't have to sneak do that.
No. As in, I'm going stealth, so I don't get caught. More than being sneaky with you guys, being just sneaky in general.
Okay, so...
Sneaky, not caught.
you change form. It doesn't require a roll for you to do so.
Sweet.
And whatever you are wearing just either rips or falls off.
Do we have spare clothes for him?
Of course.
I think I've been packing them. Whether I remember to pack them or not, I don't know.
That would probably be a vigilance check.
A vigilance check. If I packed extra clothes. What's my vigilance?
So it says for determining if you packed a crucial piece of gear for the situation.
Trickery.
Bolt doesn't think ahead, so this
I'm pretty sure you only grabbed your hammer.
Okay, so yes, you did bring a bit of gear, but you were wearing it.
That's now ripped to shreds. Yeah, right, perfect.
So instead of applying strain for the for threat, I applied it to the gear you were carrying. So that's your spare set of clothing you've just ripped.
That's good.
And I have to get you new clothes.
And of course, the other part of the recommend said yet is yet you transform, you don't need to roll, that's easy. You're now in a lovely red evil type form.
That's it.
You thought you were taking even more? Nah, not anymore.
And so when they see Bolt standing in wolf form, Bolt's the size of Desrin's bike.
Which sounds like it's a fairly substantial...
Were you still in the car when you did this? Maybe it's not only your clothes that got ripped.
She said she slipped out.
I said I slipped out, and
Okay, yeah.
so...
Fortunately for my car.
SoCal decided to go in with you, hearing all the discussion about Bolt apparently ripping people in half, going, I'm going
staying here with it.
It doesn't want to be with Bolt. Alright, so we'll meet with this mafia person.
Okay, so walking into the cyber cafe,
Right, yep.
you see SoCal greets the mafia person, a short-haired, pimply-looking, probably about 20-odd-year-old dwarf.
Okay.
And he does a very dated, like schoolyard sort of handshake, fist bump sort of thing that just looks awkward.
I will roll with that awkwardness.
His interpretation of a secret handshake.
I'm used to being around SoCal. This is nothing I can't deal with.
Well, his interpersonal skills are so great he gets a whole dice in it.
Oh, okay, right. A dice.
Yeah, a dice. And it's the yellow one.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
You just had to point that last caveat out there, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was kind of obvious, but you know, it's nice when he does.
Desrin does get single dice and yellow on some things.
Desrin?
Yeah. One of his
I
skills.
thought this is a
people
dwarf.
man now.
No, when Desrin does stuff, he does have some things that have a single dice, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
yellow.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, and that's for his vigilance check.
Mm.
So yes,
Well,
That explains a
I
lot.
notice now. But discipline is certainly a single dice. And the real problem for Decker at the moment is his one main macro skill, he also only gets a single dice.
As I said, this explains a lot. I'm absolutely considering going out on my own again.
and so once they've walked in, you see a couple of sleek-looking motorcycles go past.
Well, that'll attract Decker's attention.
And on top of them are two leather-clad ancients, showing their colours.
You were
Is this
successful.
normally Ancient's territory at all?
The
Or it's
entire-
like Ancient has turned the entire Seattle's their territory, isn't it?
Seattle is their territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Desrin is no longer watching what's going on. He's too busy
Oh,
looking
no,
at
that's not.
agents.
At least for the period of time while they're going past, and he's thinking, okay, ooh, should I be there? Should I get a call?
And you see them pulling up at a restaurant just down the street. So while he's watching that, what is Bolt doing in wolf form as you're seeing many cars go past?
Well, Declan's thinking that maybe he needs to get his view into the shop where the guy's not quite right. Down a bit the other side of the shop would probably be better. I'll go to the restaurant.
Well, I was hopefully doing a stealthy perimeter check.
Okay, so once you finish your perimeter check, Desrin is missing.
I will go find Desrin and loom over him on the bike.
Sorry, I kind of using the idea that, yeah, one member of the team who was providing watch went missing, so the other member of the team providing watch went looking for them.
This is absolutely my destiny. If the dice aren't trying to kill me, my party is.
Okay, so you try to follow Desrin.
You succeed from the looks of things.
With many advantages too, by the looks.
Okay, so you catch up to Desrin rather quickly, feeling quite good about things as all your strain disappears.
Yay.
And you
Wish that
see,
happened to me.
and you see him drooling over a pair of bikes while also staring in a restaurant, watching a couple of elves eating what appears to be a non-meat salad.
Yeah.
As I said, loom.
Yeah, Ariadna, remember the fact we were talking about those single dice balls that Declan's got a few of?
Oh, I don't need to be reminded of that.
Can I actually
It's really one of them.
Can I try and drag Desert back?
You can.
Wait, let's do that.
You grab him by his bike and drag him back. He's not going to leave that behind. And as you start dragging him back by the bike, Desrin notices the two elves look up at him directly while the dog's pulling his bike down the pathway.
Nothing to see here. Moving on.
And you see one of them hold up their phone and take a picture.
Ah, good. So, now, well, possibly being dragged away by a huge wolf is more manly than being dragged away by a woman or something, but...
Okay,
Yeah.
would you like to look good in the picture?
So,
Of course you do.
Anyway, so yeah, Declan's decided the idea of, hey, yep, I've been caught up badly here, so let's make it worthwhile.
So for you, that is a charm roll to look good in the picture.
Is that another single dice?
She actually has 2
No,
yellow dice.
he's been working on his stuff. So I'm guessing that the convincing demeanor possibly doesn't count.
So you can take 2 strain to reduce the difficulty by 2 if you wish to. Or
That sounds like a
to
good deal to me.
or to give yourself
Absolutely.
a extra yellow dice instead.
Right, we'll go for downgrading the check as far as we can, and if there's anything left over, we'll go for upgrading the yellow. But yeah, because you start with 2 yellow and a green, so
Okay, so you do manage to, by the time they take the photo, look magnificent riding your bike with the front wheel up and the dog pulling it along, looking like you're actually doing a stunt maneuver running into the dog as you're driving.
perfect.
And no hands on the controls while doing so with both, the whole gun shooting thing if that's what you want to do.
Just when I was hoping Carla would catch up to it.
So yes, inside. Once
The
they-
person who
Whatever
gets to
happens
deal with
now,
the
at least
serious
Declan's
stuff.
had a good PR.
Right.
So once SoCal has finished going through the latest online multiplayer immersion game, apparently they're in the same raid guild.
Of course they are. Go guild.
She finally has that look of resignation of finally finishing the greeting side of things, and manages to shut SoCal up enough to ask, how can I help? Please, how can I help?
I gather you said we're at a cyber cafe.
A cyber cafe, yes.
I'll get them something to drink and find a place that's relatively private. And I'm like, I was looking for some information about magical item, a cursed magical item.
Well, I don't know many cursed magical items. Can you describe it? I'll start a search, she says.
As far as I know, it's I presume because SoCal's vouched for them, and I don't have much choice, I'm gonna say, look, I think I'll not say I've got it. I'll say I saw something, and I think it was a red idol with demonic eyes, and I think it's nature based. I think one of my friends might be mixed up with it, and I'm just trying to figure out if I should help him out.
Okay, she starts doing some hunting through various sites you've never seen before.
Okay, I'll try to take note of those sites. Always trying to learn.
Apparently she's a member of quite a few online mage circles.
Ah, I see. What was her name again?
She never gave it.
I ask her what her name is? Or what she'd like me to call her?
My brain's not
I was
coming
going
up
to say,
with
would
a
you like me to give you a name?
name. Give me a name and I'll use that.
Oh. Now my brain's going blank. Yeah.
I just had one spring to my mind.
What
Go
was
for
that?
it. Hopefully it's not as bad as the options I came up with. I was going to call her something along the lines of something to do with finding, like being a magical wizard or something.
So Em, what's the name you thought of?
Sophie?
Sophie.
Yeah, that works.
Where the first one that came to my mind was Veronica, which is the one I always come to mind when I'm trying to think of Tatiana.
It might be more confusing for you if Veronica does continue into the story.
Indeed.
Because amusingly, with the triumph he got, Sorokal can make that a permanent addition to the storyline.
Ah, okay, wow. So Sophie, you said she was a dwarf?
She's a teenage dwarf. Well, looks to be, middle-aged dwarf.
Okay.
Young dwarf? Yeah. Hard to tell. All dwarves
I'm
look
just
the
going
same
to put
to me.
dwarf. Because that's going to make my life easier.
So yes, she has a look for it and says, there is some talk on the Matrix about some sort of idol. She describes it as a, from what they say, it's about 30 centimeters long and it appears to be carved from a single stone.
And what does it do? Or what is it for?
Apparently it's designed to channel magic.
Designed to channel magic.
Mm-hmm.
Is it one of those types of idols that, well, I had an idea that this item was cursed. Is there anything that kind of tells you how it might be cursed?
Well, there's lots of items of power out there.
Mm.
Most of them don't have the drawbacks of using them because, hey, most people who discover the drawbacks are generally not able to tell anyone what the drawback is.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Or don't want to, so whoever unlucky sod steals it from them is stuck with it.
Mm. That's true as well.
Most items of power that have drawbacks need to be claimed.
This one's not claimed that we know of.
Hard to tell. If the more powerful it is, the more likely it's going to talk to the person.
Oh, I see. So it's actually going to have conversation, connection through telepathic.
And the item itself might actually be a manifestation of whatever power you're connecting to.
Oh, so it might be manifested from something that's already within yourself.
No, from somewhere else.
Oh.
Like how you would use a bridge to cross a river, it could possibly use the item to cross between worlds.
So this could be like a demon situation? Trying to get out of...
Demon works as good as anything,
yeah,
she says.
That's why I'm
Think of it as an outside force influencing the weak-minded.
How do you protect said weak-minded people from such sources?
She prefers a bullet because it's less messy.
For the weak-minded person?
She knows.
What if I don't want to kill the weak-minded person? What if I much prefer them to live?
Well, that's the harder choice, but...
It is! Which is why I'm here.
She would
Keep out of
recommend...
contact with the item.
She would recommend destroying the item, but that rarely succeeds. If it truly is cursed, there's probably no way to break it or destroy it.
Can I try to give it and curse someone else?
Possibly, but if it's laid claim on a person, the person might not survive it being claimed by someone else.
I see. Which is possibly what happened to Pal. I don't say that out loud, I think that.
Sometimes accidents happen as soon as you give up the item.
So she's kind of stuck with it.
We'll find out what it's meant for, and
Where would I find that kind of information?
depending on how old the item is, not always easy. Some of these items have existed longer than civilization.
Yes, that's why I need to try to look into this more deeply.
This as well. Her teachings do say that this is the what they call the sixth world.
The world that we're currently in?
Yes.
Okay.
And civilization has been wiped out 5 times in the past.
That cheers me up greatly. Absolutely. I'm
No,
so happy to hear this news.
Well, that's what magic people learn about.
Yeah, I presume that it is. Um,
And the stronger the magic gets, the more likely we'll reach a point where it just resets itself yet again. Probably not for another couple of 100 years. So we're fine.
and I come to the role-playing table to get away from the world's woes. Joyous news. Right. She's been very helpful. Not sure whether or not to see if she can maybe point me in the direction of a place where I can do research of my own, or try to look into this a little bit more.
She says if you give her some time, she might be able to track down some more information.
I will give her some time and some money to show my good faith.
She says she'll do better than money if next time you don't bring. She points at the SoCal under while SoCal's looking elsewhere. She'll take that as a win.
I can definitely organise that. So yes, absolutely, we will do that. I'll give her my contact then. Is there ice cream at the cafe?
There is.
I'll get
There's even decent coffee.
I'll get myself a coffee.
And they
I'll
even
get
do
an
a
ice cream
they even
for-
do a coffee ice cream.
I think I'll do that for me as well, but I'll also get the werewolf and ice cream. Does Desrin eat ice cream or drink coffee? I presume he doesn't, just out of what I kind of know of him.
He certainly, like, he'll eat ice cream, but he's certainly not
That's
addicted
fanatical
to
about
it like others in the party.
Yeah, no, this is just, it's been a long day, and if there's ice cream and coffee here, it's because I don't drink, I just need some form of stimulant. This is my choice.
So as you're picking up the coffee and the ice cream, you see Bolt dragging Desrin back into view.
I offer Bolt ice cream, and
But Bolt in wolf form.
that's okay. I still offer Bolt in wolf form ice cream. I'm fairly sure Bolt in wolf form will still accept ice cream. And I'm pretty sure Bolt will recognise me. And I will take the drink over to...
Well, you can take it over to both of them quite easily.
Yeah. But to kind of get Bolt to drop Desrin's bike, I will kind of... Ice cream. Here you go, puppy. But I'll also somehow, no one knows how, manage to hook one arm around SoCal and drag him out so he doesn't bore the poor dwarf to tears with more talk about the latest games that he's playing. Fairly sure that...
Well, to be fair, you could probably drag SoCal without too much problem, because
Yeah.
then
I'm fairly sure I'm strong enough to just
Shadow.
kind of hook an arm around him and just drag him along behind me.
Though he has been working out.
Has
Otherwise
he?
he can't fit in more saberware.
Oh, I see. Well, there you go. I'm fairly sure he won't resist anyway because,
But he won't. Someone's giving him attention.
yeah,
Obviously it's important.
yeah. I will say whatever needs to be said to make sure I spare the dwarf any more tedium. And then I'll return to Desrin and Bolt.
Okay, so yes, you're outside the cafe.
We've got some work to do. How long do you want to stay away from our building? Do we want to go hang somewhere in particular?
well, I suspect we're not going back to the Barrens at least until the blackout's over.
I know I've got a safe house or two elsewhere, but not many. Well,
Declan's certainly happy to effectively stay on the streets as much as anything else at the moment, if he worked on the idea that he's thinking of the safest places on the move. but that's also partly because he's not been used to really having a safe base. If Shadow's got a location she's thinking of, or if we do need to, if she's thinking we need to find a spot to lay low for a bit.
Yeah, I definitely think we need to
try and go with getting a cheap hotel room or something.
I definitely think we need to lay low.
That we're not known anywhere, like that has no connection with us directly.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get access to without needing to provide much in the way of ID or anything like that sort of stuff.
Yep. That was kind of my thinking. One, because I'm not sure we want to. I agree with you that being on the move is helpful. But at some point we're going to have to rest, and we haven't had a lot of rest since everything blew up with T'Pau. And I'm down to 7 strain, so I would like to rest. So I probably want to at some point find somewhere to grab some sleep.
To have a breather, because you're being so stressed out doing stuff.
Yeah, I've been dealing with red demonic idol things that are probably gonna kill me.
So it does mean that, you say the scene does end, which means you could choose to either make a cool or discipline check as Shadow Star, which for you is the same.
Yep. See whether or not I can recover some strain.
So you recover 1 strain.
Yay! I've got 8 left.
Okay. I guess Declan might as well try and recover the strain that he took for to look cool.
So you've got you've got pretty good cool. So
yeah, and hey, if it takes strain to go to the test, that'll be work well, won't it?
Bolt's like strain. What strain?
So you recover all your strain with 2 whole successes there.
You see, your dice aren't trying to kill you.
But that's just I'm secretly on the side of the dice, provided these ideas to Martin about red demonic bunnies that happen to be thought of meditation on.
Absolutely, so helpful.
Okay, so with that, you guys head off trying to find a safe haven, which might be a good point to finish it up for tonight, as unfortunately I'm flagging quite a bit.
I'm more than happy to be closing it up, one thing that it did occur to me while going through with Ariadne with the contact was, I can't remember whether or not Degran or Sokal had come up with anything on the photos, like the images he took of the elves at the meet.
He hadn't gotten back to you about any information on that as yet.
Okay, happy with that. That's right.
His searchers hadn't returned anything before the power blackout.
Happy with that, and like I can easily imagine that if they're as competent as we suspect they probably are, then an image alone won't come up with much, or it takes a long time to come up with anything. So, because he's probably not actually got many images on the net. So,
if he's a corporate stooge, then it will pop up rather quickly. As in someone who goes out and actually shows their face with the corporation. If they're a shadow runner, only likely if they've screwed up badly.
Yeah.
That is my suspicion, is Shadowrunner and not easy to find. I'd have to score a triumph or something like that.
Well, each of you have ways of finding stuff, and Sokal, I believe, let me have a look at his sheet. I believe he has special abilities that allow him to find things, especially his. He can buy successes, and he can use it to find out about specific people. So he did use his criminal contact to find the person from the mafia. because he has mafia connections.
Yeah. So, okay then. Well, yep. That seems like a good place to close it up.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so I'll put it on Encredits and then have a quick chat afterwards.
Yep.